Hello. Hi, I'm back. And I did just the tiniest bit of extra stitching. Just the tiniest bit. Um, Blackwork piece. I am. Where am I? Somewhere here. Right there. I am going to hop around and. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. I'm actually filling these squares. That's what I'm doing right now. I am kind of, compared to earlier, very, very low energy. I thought I'd gain some. I didn't. I lost the last bit of it. So let's see how far I get. I'm literally streaming to give myself a push. So hopefully y'all can help me out and give me some energy. I'm doing these just half. Maybe this one I'll do. But yeah, all of this I'm filling. This is done. This is what I need to do. Hopefully that's correct. Let me see. Yes, looks like it. Cool. Tiniest square. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. No, I messed up. This isn't supposed to be this way. Shit. I actually don't know where I came from for that. Like, kind of hoping that I can just keep it. That's this. And the stitches will hold. I hope this is really, really risky. I feel like the stitches were mostly only when I was going around filling, so I think it'll be okay. I don't think I'm gonna need to be too worried about integrity. I was worried if this was like a piece that I was using for like clothing, I would not just like a wall piece. I would definitely go through and check because that's a little sketch. Leaving just cutting a piece of thread like that. Hopefully I can get away with it and nothing starts unraveling. Guess I have no idea how far back that was. I didn't notice that. Yeah. Actually, I'm curious. Did I take a photo of it wrong? Because I posted on Twitter. Oh, I totally did. This is early. Oh my god. No. Okay. Yeah. So it's It should be pretty stitched. Shouldn't be too problematic. I hope. Ugh. Hi, Fuzzbutt. I'm kind of working. There's no space for the cuddles. The cuddles. I think that's it. No, I'm off by one. Oh dear. A lump. A lump has formed. Oh no. Two mistakes already. Kind of a sign I shouldn't be embroidering right now. Because there's a lump. I'm gonna probably try to put thread down. And I'm gonna reeve the back, the ends. Hello. Hi, hi, hi. I have already made two mistakes, and they got a little awkward. But hopefully it won't bite me in the butt too badly. Okay, I will not work with as long strands because that whole past one was longer strands. Because I thought I would double it up, like on itself. Okay. Oh man, see, I have a thing for needles. This thing, but I didn't put it down in this thing. This guy. Hold on, I gotta. Okay, I don't know if the title changed properly, but I did change it. Ah, the sweater. The sweater is like the bane of my existence. I love it. I love it quite a lot. It's a cute rainbow sweater, but it likes to pick up all the strings. Everything. It just picks up everything. Whew. And do you ever get those feelings where you're like not all there? And it really feels like you're really not here? I'm kind of getting that right now. And I'm hoping the more I stitch, the more I'll feel there. Because right now I'm just like, I feel like I have thumbs for fingers. Trying to thread this by hand way is probably not the best idea. Oh, hey, but I did it. Okay, still working with 2 strands. Because I'm going to do the bottom part. Finish this up. So I'm going to put my knot somewhere over here. Oh, did I just unthread my... Okay, no I didn't. Should be a dash. Make the music a tiny bit louder because I'm barely hearing it. Oh, okay, I have to do it through here. Hopefully it's not too much louder. And I'm pretty quiet, but I am trying to speak into the microphone when I speak. Did I go too far? No. Shit. See, already third mistake. See if I can undo it. Was this the last one? No, this one was. And I think this one. What did I do wrong? I went too far here. I went one too far. I wasn't being careful. I'm just gonna use the threader. I just, ugh. There's a lot of stuff. Like, it's not, feels like false alarms, but there's just a lot. And I just, oh, yep, I went too far. Okay. At least I was able to redo it. Retrace my steps before. Usually helps to catch the error earlier, but we're fine. Yeah, no, I'm making the decision of not doing anything yet, right? Um, my mom is not near at all, and I haven't seen her in 2.5 years. So it's been hard because I see people going back, and I don't agree with it yet. I don't think it's safe yet. So it's just and then she's doing stuff though, and people near her are getting sick, and I'm just like, half of me is like, what do you expect? I've been saying it, and half of me is like just grieving horribly right now. Yeah, I'm not too happy with a camper right now. But I figured I'm gonna try to use swimming as a escape from that. So hyper focus stitching time. Depression stitching. But I'm making mistakes, so that sucks. It's like the one thing that you want to use to just relax is also causing issues. That's kind of why I used and I kind of need to pick it up again, sashiko, as relaxation. Technically, I have a spring pattern that I had started that I hadn't finished, and I should get to it. Right, I am so close to getting to this knot, so I'm gonna put it away. It should be fastened enough by now. It just hurts when you're making a decision and not go anywhere, and people are going places, and you're like, not to mention everything else. Okay. I'm trying to decide if I want to fill these blocks. Probably not. I might fill this one. I'm not sure yet. Wait. That's wrong. Undo that. I need to go this way. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna fill this one. I want to just do half. Maybe just half. Yeah. Okay, my thread is getting a little twisted. Trying to fill in edges is always a little hard. Hope this is correct. It looks correct? No. That's a little off. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Like one off. That one's hard. So I'm trying to match with like the very edge, and you're not exactly sure what the edge shape is. So I think it's right here. I want to be. Yeah. Because this and this. Yeah, that looks right. Then this. Then this. I'm gonna do only half this circle. I was going to say square. I'm gonna do half a square with 2 strands. I'm getting close to finishing this 2 sets, and I'm just gonna grab 1 single strand after that. Filling the pattern a slight bit. I'm gonna do 1 wall of this square. And the rest I'm going to do with a single. Cool. So I'm going to actually just finish this thread. Because I just want to work with a brand new single strand of floss. Hydration check. Yum. Okay. I don't know if Vivi is listening. So. Yay. Hi. Oh gosh, the cat is howling. The cat is yelling at us. Softly. Right. Hi. Did you bring me a moose? Hello. Oh god, you're gonna jump up here, aren't you? Is that drinking? What? No, but that's not what? What is that? Uh, tea. Yep, that's tea. That's so funny. Buzzbutt. I'm trying to thread a needle here. Cat warning. Cat warning. Wee woo, wee woo. Not quite hydrating, but Buzzbutt. Why? So as you can see, there's a little bit of fuzz happening. Cat. I love you, but I can't work with you on my lap. It's just not feasible. This cat. Okay. I love you, Buzzbutt. I love you, but you need to not be on my lap. I'd like to finish this. Okay. Say goodbye, cup. Thank you for the boost. We can cuddle later, don't worry. She's like, why? My mother. Why must you be this way? Mother. Phew. logical to stitch that a tiny bit differently, but it'll look the same on the front. I have to stay stitching with 2 strands feels nice, honestly. Stitching with 1 strand feels a little clunky, if you will. Wait, did I go through the right hole? This doesn't look like the right hole. I did not go through the correct hole. Jumping around a little more than I should be. That's okay, because it's not too far. Ooh, look at that. I need to scroll out of this image that I'm looking at as an example. How do I do this? There we go. Did I do similar? Yeah, it does look similar. Holy shit. That's so cool. That's really cool. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do here yet, but alright, well, look at that. That's really friggin' cool. Okay. I'm gonna finish this strand. So this is just cotton. I'm just gonna start with fresh strands. The stem stitch is next. So I'm just gonna start with a nice fresh piece of thread. My stem stitch. Okay. So looks like. I wonder if I should actually. Still gonna try doing it with a knot, I guess. Let me get 2 strands. Two strands for my stem stitch. Like, I'm wondering if I should actually weave underneath instead of doing it knot. Or more like do a knot. Maybe I should do a knot and then weave. And then cut the knot away later. Maybe? Might do that. We're gonna do some stem stitch first. So I will cut the knot later. For now, it'll stay like this. Those can be considered my 2 holding stitches. Alright, now the one thing with the stem stitch, I mean, is I want to make sure I'm always having the loop in the same direction. So gonna always face me. This hoop. I think I'm gonna share the same hole with the. Wait, hold on. Like that. What? I feel like I need to turn on the side thing for this. Let's see. So like you can kind of see what I'm doing. This right now is a stem stitch. I'm doing little loops. They're going through the same hole here. Wait, is that working actually? Ooh, it is working. Okay, good. and twist my thread a little bit. Something you don't want to do is work with twisted thread if you can help it. I mean, the thread's gonna twist, but you can untwist it. I'm gonna probably start rotating this soon. In fact, I'm gonna rotate it now because I kind of want to keep doing it towards myself. Just easier for me to handle. This is gonna be a separate thread, I think. Oh no. Unthreaded my thread again. Kinda easy with this large eye. It's kind of cool because if you like we're here, like right here it's IRL, this is raised. Texturally it's kind of cool. This line, the stem stitch. Alright, rotating again. Upside down snail. Is that too much exposure? Like almost too bright. Wow! Come here. Oh, my hand getting in the way is like really funny looking. I don't know why I was still tracking my hand. That was weird. Oh, why am I having so much trouble? Okay. Alright, should be back to normal-ish. I don't know if I'll have enough thread to go all the way around. But first giving it a try. upside down snail. Wait a minute. Did this? I am going to stitch down to stop this thread and get a new one. Wait, no, actually, I need to. Okay. Hi, Lena. Hi. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Wow, where's my end? Oh my god, where's my end? There it is. Okay, found it. Oh god, I'm accidentally taking out of the middle of my strand. Okay. I'm cutting from a new strand because... Or I'm taking from a new strand because I have only one and I need to work with two. I didn't want to go through trying to measure it. I might later. I have so much of this black thread and I'm not too worried. I'm like scolding myself for saying that because I'm like, try not to waste thread. I'm like, this is cotton, it's fine, it's fine. It'll be fine. Oh, it's sticking to everything. My glove likes to hang on to thread. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a knot, leave it in front, do a little bit of weaving on the back, and then the knot will be cut off later. Where am I? I am like, where the hell am I? Right here? Yeah, right here. So I'll just go in here, weave like twice. Alright, and then right. It's much easier to work upside down at the moment. think I have enough thread to finish this. I did not start off with a lot. This is kind of going to be a little bit of a weird line because it's overlapping a line that was created by the design. Okay. And I just have this curve to do here. Can't figure out if the gold is 2 strands. I don't think so. The gold is like this bottom part. Wait, hold on. This will be better. Yep. Right? Yeah, I have just enough for this. Okay, I think, let's see. What? Shoot, I unthreaded my needle. Blah. I'm just going down here though. Okay, and I'm going to wind on the back. Like, I don't know. 2 times? 3 times? I can't. I just got murdered at. He's like, ah, yes, 3 times. 3 times sounds good. Solo cat. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. Hi. Sorry. And is this gonna be long enough? Is this a long strand? This is not a long strand. I did not give myself a lot to work with. It's kind of short. I don't want too long, but I don't want too short either because it makes it difficult starting and stopping, and I'm just like, this might bite me in the butt, but I like having a little bit more to work with. In general. Rawr. I am so growly. I don't know why I'm so growly. It's that time of hour. That time of night. Just turn into very growly Lily. Why? No. Okay, I'm actually gonna do the outline before I do the speckled sprinkles stitch that I don't remember the name of, the proper name And it's not written in the kit. But there's actually a proper name for it. Okay, I'm going to... Let's see... Yeah, okay. Do a variation... Oh, come on. Variation of holding stitches of sorts. It's gonna... Oh, good. The eye is big enough. But because the eye is big enough, it's so easy to slip out. I gotta reassess. How am I doing this? I'm doing this with the... Going in this direction with the loop facing south, maybe? I guess? I guess. Hold on. Excuse me. Okay. I hope. That just... Oh god. Oh no. Hold up. Panics. Okay. Cool. Alright, hydration check. Need to hydrate. Yum. Alright, here we go. Stem stitching this. I'm going to do this sort of loop is gonna go down towards me like this for the rest of these little loops. I'm gonna take this opportunity to put this away. I think we're good. Twisting, getting some of the twist out. As I unthread my needle. Wah. twist out. Right. I have some extra left over, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some sprinkles. Just gonna go ahead and stitch in there. And let's see. So I still have 2 more loop-the-loops to go, but I have a little bit left, and I don't want to use the extra for much else. But I think, like, in general, these are about 3 holes in length. So. I'm usually kind of bad at making them look as scattered as they need to look. Wait, that's a little too long. I think I might actually do the entire bottom part with this one. And across the way too. Or the bottom part isn't like this section. What even are sprinkles? It's too long. Hold on, let me see if I have to. I can just. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Sprinkles. very much at random. Alright, let's see. Where do I want to weave this? Probably just here. Just use these to finish on. Yep. Alright, need 2 more strands. We're gonna start doing the stem stitch. Stem stitch for the top portions, and then a little bit of sprinkles that are there. It's always good, even when you have 2 strands left, to separate them anyway. They have a twist from when they were 6 of them in the floss strand. It's just better to get a nice cleaner look if you separate the strands and then put them together. I wouldn't say for all 6, obviously, but like for anything less. Even 5. Maybe 5 you can get away with, but you're not usually gonna do 5. Yeah. Okay. I gotta figure this out. So if I'm starting here, I'm gonna weave in here. And we're gonna leave the knot for a little bit while I do some stitches. Stem stitch time. Hold on, this thing's moving quite a bit. There we go. Oh, nope. Fuck. It's like not grabbing the hoop. It's not the best thing because it just clamps. But boy, being weird. Hold on. Okay, I think we might be mostly okay. It sucks because I kind of want to like rotate this quite a bit. I don't need a stand. This doesn't stand. Blah. I don't need a stand for this stitch. Not really. This can be hands. Well, actually, no. Never mind. I'm incorrect. Having it hands-free be good. It'd be good. Oh my god. Okay, I can talk. We have entered caveman speak. In my case, Hey, VTuber lady speak. I don't know. Oh man. See now, like the thread is there's a thread. The cloth is too loose. Like I felt the. It doesn't need to be tight, but like in general, you kind of want it to be. Yeah, like it just lumps on itself. What the heck? This like clamp is warping my hoop. Yeah, just wipe my hoop a little bit. Untwisting my thread. Oh man, I was out of tune. Wow. Oh, sorry. I am the tired. Okay, I am going to do a few sprinkles. Man, sometimes when you're in a mood, you will sing off key almost purposefully. And then you catch yourself and you're like, what the heck is going on? A lot is going on. Okay. I need to make sure I'm in the right spot. Right there is gonna be good. We're gonna do the stem stitch. We're gonna let the twist out a little bit on this thread. Wah! Oh, Vivi. Hi. Hello. So close to being done with this. Awesome. Yay. So many races to research. Yeah. Hydration and posture check. Okay, I will. Stretch. I am also so close to being done, minus the floor. Whatever is gonna happen here. Oh man, look at this. Woo! My head feels a little like out there, spacey. I haven't been doing the stem stitch that long, but it feels like it's been ever. It's a bit of a big stitch. It's okay. You can kind of tell see if I like it or if I want to undo it. No, I like it. I can barely see the outline I sketched. Oh. Alright, must let some of this twist get out. And now I'm going to do a few stitches. And then we're going to finish this thread. Alright. Wait, I actually don't like that. Hold on. Undo. I would prefer... Yeah. I'm going to do one more here. Okay. Cool. Well, wait a minute. It looks kind of unfinished, doesn't it? Like, I don't know why it looks sloppy comparatively to the piece that I'm looking at. Knife was wet. Yes. Well, please don't rip into my pants. No, stop it. I think I need to fill this out a little bit. Looks odd. Okay, looks a little better. Being perfectionist about these sprinkles. Okay, this is where we gotta call it quits because otherwise I'm gonna fill out the whole thing. I'm gonna go back this way. Okay. So now we are that away. Okay. So the black part here is just this part, and then there's a black part right over there. So I'm gonna take the shorter thing that I had, because we're just gonna stop over here and then start a new thread maybe, or should I use the longer one and stop? Maybe use the longer one. Okay, I'm splitting these up. I'm going to do my little holding wraps here, but I'm then gonna hop over. I think it's gonna be a little awkward. A little bit of hopping. I'm gonna also have a knot that I'm gonna cut away later. So let's try to this work. Just really congested in the evening. Damn. Okay, a knot. Wrapping. And a hop over to, let's say, right here. We're gonna start. Not the best, but not the worst either. Okay. Alright, stem stitch. I think I'm gonna change direction, so to speak, and the gold is also gonna be in this instead of me flipping over the whole snail. But that's not where I want to be. I want to be here. I want to be where the people are not. Well, people online are cool. IRL people, no thank you. I don't want to be there. Let me stay the hermit that I am. Learning new crafts, making new things, but nevertheless a hermit. So, I don't want to jump across. That's not a good idea. Doing any distance is just generally not the best. So, I'm going to... I'm gonna hope that this thing focuses. I have to do manual each time. It's just better, because otherwise it's like trying to focus every 5 seconds. Oh no. Actually, I think I may have accidentally had a knot happen. I don't know if this is from twisting or this is undoable. Oh, nope. Nope, we're fucked. Okay. Well, I see now. Okay. We're just ending this thread and tossing it into the thread jar. Because this is structural integrity issues. Yeah. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Okay, and I actually want to find out. Oops. Ah! Is there something about black thread? So it is said that black thread is a little bit weaker because it goes through harsher dyeing procedure. It's very hard to get black. And that harsher dyeing procedure results in a tad bit weaker. Not everyone agrees, but it's been warned about when you're like looking to dye things in black. Like if you go to Dharma Trading, and I believe under either under there or under blogs that have talked about it, they've said like there's a little bit more of a struggle because you have to add some more stuff, if I recall. But I don't really remember very well. All I know is I should because I'm planning to eventually dye some stuff black. I just remember I had to go through a little bit more material purchasing for it. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing here, except we're starting close by so I don't have to jump. There's gonna be a little bit of jumping involved because of the antenna. Okay. Something tells me this thread is not gonna get me all the way. I chose a space a little bit closer. Didn't want my stitches to be too long. Okay. So just stitch there. I'm gonna start doing the antenna because this is where the black stops in the outline. The antennas are still black, so now the one thing I have to watch out for is to keep it directional. My loop needs to keep going in the same direction, so it's gonna go like this way, then this way, then this way. We'll see. Although I made I made a bad decision. I closed this when I drew this, and I don't have a way to erase it, so it looks like we're doing a circle. It'll be a little awkward. Maybe it won't be as much as it looks like it might be. Oh god. I cheat a little bit. Okay, I'm cheating a tiny bit. Not quite a stem stitch right here. I'm just kind of like doing somewhat straight stitches. Technically, they should be smaller, so I was trying to actually get a circle. That's too angular. No. And do it. Oh no. Oh no. I wrecked it. I wrecked the thread. Oh god. Oh my god. See, this is why the cat. Now there's hair on my face. Ugh. No. Why are you not pulling up? Oh no. Oh shit. Well. Oh god. I fucked myself. Oh no. No, 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 no. Fuck. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. How can I come back? What am I gonna do with that end? Ooh, unsure. All I know is this thread definitely broke on me. Hmm. Let's see. What can I do? Do I have to undo this whole thing considering the instability? Or can I... I think I need to undo the whole thing. Due to this in any words. Oh, instability. Okay. Redo. Okay. Mhm. Two strands. Yeah, the technique taster doesn't give you any like hints, unfortunately. Not the way it's being taught now. Kind of like a little sad about that. Okay. I'm going to take this out real quick. I'm going to wind twice in this area right here. To do like holding stitches so the stuff doesn't come apart. Let's try this again. Smaller stitches this time. A little at an angle. When I get to the more severe curves, I'm going to do much smaller. I might even just switch to a running stitch of sorts. Well, no, that won't have the right. I won't have the right thickness. Maybe I'll still do stem. It'll just be a little tricky. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So for the line, it doesn't really matter. Tiny stitches. Trying my best to stay on one side of the line with the loop. I think we're doing good so far. Well, it's looking a lot better last time. So I gotta do a actual like circle. Wait. I don't think I wanted to go down that stitch. I think I wanted one over. Yep. One over. I go up here. Over. Here. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. I'm gonna go this way. This time tomorrow, actually, I have a sashiko class with Kazue from Kyoto. It's 11 p.m. to 1 p.m. 1 a.m. Good God. just... See, it just likes this fucking break on itself. It's okay. I think we might have enough to do the other antenna. Maybe? Just so twisted. Wait, antenna time? Is there enough thread? Please. Please let there be enough. This one's trying to make sure. I'm done! Yay! Awesome. How are you feeling? Could I get some of your time to go over things I think you might want to diverge from me? Could I get some of your time to go over the things I think you might want to diverge from me on? Do you want that today? Like, timeline, I need to know. Please and thank you. Ah? Oh no. I did have enough. Yeah, let me actually... I have a ton of tabs open, my brain hasn't forgotten all my reasonings yet, so now would be best. I hate to break it to you, but it's after midnight and I can't. If you mean it for me to critically think about the serious stuff that I need to be fully there for, to give it the attention that it deserves, there's no way. If I knew that I would need to do that, I wouldn't have streamed. Honestly. Fucking hell, I know I fucked up. Hold on. I totally saw that stitching and then I screwed up and there we go, fixed it. Oh no, I didn't. Hold on. Ah, that's what happened. This is from when I undid this. There's some left over. That's why it's fluffy. I should have gone through the other side and made sure I got rid of all like the strays. Let me actually flip at that. like the tiniest bit right here. Like it's okay, I think. Yeah, I'm super sorry. I'm not alive right now. I haven't been I'm just trying to get a general grasp of reality, if you will. Just to concentrate and be able to do this okay. I think I actually switched directions at some point. Why is this? Oh no, fuck. Look at this thread. It just split on me. Oh no, fuck. No, I'm like right at the end and it split on me. Fuck. That's what I was seeing. That was weird. I'm gonna try to get this like a little bit in. Let's see if I could finish it off. Make it look clean with this tiny bit of. Because literally, I have one stitch left and it's fuzzing out really badly. I okay. I'm to try to wrap this and finish this thread, even though it started splitting on me at the very last minute. Okay, hopefully that won't horribly like go off and go apart. But technically, I am done with all the black part. Minus what's gonna happen here if I'm gonna do anything. And next is gold. So that's exciting. You know what I kind of want to do? I'm noticing there's like little black pieces on my mouse pad. I'm gonna quickly roll the shit out of this. So give me a second. I'm gonna hopefully not mess anything up. Okay. Ah! That still works. That's kind of cool. The stream avatars. I've never tried the stream avatars on this. rolling. Nobody needs to see a gross lint roller. I mean, it's not gross, but threads, hairs are gonna make it look weird. Because the black was shedding. I think it shed a little bit on my keyboard too. Fuck. Totally did. Okay. I think. Cool. Much better, yeah. So I have gold left. Oh no, do I know where I put my needle? Do I know where I put my needle? Oh no. Did I just seriously just like manage to lose my needle? No, I found it. Okay, I have a thing. I have a thing for magnet, needle, CC. What's CC? Oh, closed captioning. The. Uh-oh. Nope, it's not being super weird. Like, where's your needle? Where did it go? Looking at it, so. Okay. Hydration check. I'm gonna go back to doing this. I'm just putting it back into the oop. Right? It is so chill. Technically should be nighttime. Technically. I can great. I can act like good real quick. There we go. Nighttime. Haha. The only nighttime I don't have is like the back window, but we're just gonna ignore that. We're just gonna ignore the fact that the back window does not match. When I go nighttime mode. Okay, switching back to personal projects. Alright. Personal project source. Let's go. So, gold thread has a tendency to be a lot more fragile. So I don't want to work with too long of a piece. This is pretty stiff. So, I'm going to have to figure out how best I'm going to do this. I think I'm still going to knot it. I'm going to knot it like the old traditional way of having thumbs for fingers. I don't know if it'll hold, but we'll see. That actually is holding. Okay. And now I'm going to grab the other side. I'm going to... I think I'm starting from this side. I'm going to wrap around. Alright, here we go. No! And I wasn't even threaded. My needle. Yes, that's already trying to split on me. This gold thread. It's a little funky to work with because it's got very obvious kinks in it. Like, I don't know if you can tell when I take it out. See these angles? kinky. I think I'm only working with one, and I think the stitches are supposed to be like pretty close. Looking at the original. So, it's still stump stitch. Which is a little, like, gonna be interesting. Just leave it at that. Have to be really careful. Yeah, I think single strand is okay. Unless I'm supposed to be working with double, but like it really does look like single strand with small stitches on the original. At least the photograph. Gotta be really careful with twists. I'm making these a little bit bigger than I want to be making them. These stitches. Hopefully I won't have to undo them. Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god. I think we're okay. So what this makes it look like is this, it's a braided, not a braided, but like a twisted coil, which I think actually looks really pretty. Oh no. There we go. I'm like, why isn't that going through the hole? What is it catching on? It did not itself. Okay, gonna get ready for bed. Lurking until you shut down. Okay, looks really cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's looks like it's supposed to, which is really nice. I'm wondering if I'm gonna wreck it if I try to do like the floor. Or if I should just cut this out. I particularly want to cut it out, but definitely gonna need another strand. Just gonna have to wrap it on itself. Twice. I'm gonna have to do that. There's still some twisted. Thank you for the work, Fifi. Not bad, not bad. 2 hours. That's how long we've been going for this part. I think I might be getting to the point where I need to start a new thread. So I'm going to you don't usually want to work with a long thread. It's not a good idea. Okay. And I'm gonna just need like that part. This will be good. Hello, cat. Why are you yelling at me? What? Hi. Yes, I am still working on this.
Sloppy.
Whoa! Oh my goodness. Hello. Hi, everyone. Whoa! So many emotes. Hi. Thank you for the raid. Hey, Jolene. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Oh my goodness, so many emotes. Hi. Hello, I have my cat bugging me. do not mind me. She is currently yelling at me. Huh? Thank you for the follow, Maddie. Hi. Or Mally, sorry. I can't read. Hello, everybody. My cat's saying hello. She's very vocal. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, thank you for the follow. Ouch, cat. Wow. Please don't. Cat, please behave. Jesus. Thank you, Mobeef. Thank you for the follow. Hey, Jolene, thank you for the follow too, and thank you for the raid. Oh my goodness. Hi, everyone. Nakaluk, thank you. Raging Zingor, thank you. Hi, yay. Let me catch up on chat. Oh my goodness, so many emotes. Ah! Hi. Thank you, Raging. Hi, thank you for the follow. Did I say raising? I'm sorry. It is late. It is almost 1 a.m. for me, and I have a cat bothering me. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi, I know. I love you, but there's no space on the desk. Cat, you cannot be this insistent. She's an old lady. She's an old lady that's like, hey, pay attention to me. So, Raging, please sleep. Oh, I did read it. Yeah, okay, cool. 2 a.m. Oh my goodness. Hey, so welcome everyone. Hi. I've been working on my very first Blackwork piece. This is counted stitch work, and it's called Blackwork because you're working in black. Although here I have a little bit of gold, and I'm just finishing it up. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. This was like a practice piece, and I was kind of gonna continue and do a floor. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I might do that. Fine, I'm going to bed. Thank you everyone. Hi, cat. Oh my goodness, fine. Here. Ugh. There. See, cat on the side camera. Very needy cat. There we go. The tiniest bit of cat. So what were you up to? Good night, Raging. Hi, Jolene. What were you up to? I'm gonna do a shout out for you with the cat. This is gonna be hard. Please work. Please work. Yes, it worked. Yes. Awesome. Oh, you're doing the perler beads. Awesome. A Bulbasaur that your daughter drew? That's so cute. Oh my god, the emote. That is adorable. Ah, cat. You're getting in the way of my tracking with your tail. Oh my gosh. That emote she drew? Oh, that's so cool. That's really cute. Oh my goodness, cat, please. That's a really, really cute Bulbasaur. Oh my goodness. Okay, cat. Alright. You are so needy. You are so grumpy. Oh my goodness. She is, that time of night. Rest well, Raging. Your kitty's like me. Attention now. Yeah. Yup. Yeah, she is. She wasn't paying attention to me like for a whole 2 hours almost. Well, she did come by a little bit earlier, but then she was like doing her own thing somewhere else. Yee. So, this is actually from a class. It's a Oh my god, so many emotes. This is from Technique Taster on Blackwork. And what I did, let me cut this away because this is gonna hurt me. We could choose between a light bulb or a snail, and I went ahead and chose to do a snail. Now let me actually put it. Well, actually, wait, hold on. I have to first. What I'm doing with this part is like I leave the knot on the front. Oh, if the knot is big enough, that is. Wow, let me make a bigger knot. I leave the knot on the front. I do a lot of work when I do the embroidery from like the classes. And I'm taking classes with SF, San Francisco Needlework School. When I do these classes, I'm usually leaving the knot on front and doing like two holding stitches, but this is a little funkier. Thank you for the follow, Knuckles! Yes, I am on the West Coast. Jolene's stream has still had my strict uncle mode active. While Ray's not sleeping and all. Yeah, 2 a.m. Oh no, 4 a.m. Knuckles! Yeah, go to sleep. Sleep is important. It is hard sometimes to go to sleep, but it is bad when I am hyper bouncy puppy, okay? Oh my god, the zoom. I love the emotes. The bouncy. Yes, SF. So the classes that I'm taking currently are online. So that's really cool. Definitely worth checking them out. If you Google search SF, wait, what is it? Hold on. Can I actually come up with it? Wait, actually, I think that's it. Did it work? Yeah, there we go. There's the website. That's the school that I'm taking the courses through. They're all online. It's really cool. All right, catching up with chat. Nice, East Bay. Awesome. Just turned midnight for me. Midnight. Ooh. Good night, Knuckles. Have a good rest. Yep. Hi, Moby. Time to get comfy and rest. Okay, you're heading to bed since it's 10 a.m. in Sweden. Oh my god, you haven't slept yet? What? 10 a.m. Holy crap. Please do sleep. Have a good sleep. I hope you all have a great stream. I hope so too. Thank you. Time to bean attack someone. Oh, bean attack. Uh-oh. I'm in the past. Rest well, Moby. Cool beans. Alright. So let me put this guy into my thing. They are the best beans. The toe beans. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Knuckles. I don't have all my channel points running right now. But usually I'll have it switched over if I do embroidery again tomorrow. I have a redeem for the channel points for the stream avatars where you can change like the kitty cat that you log in on, the color and such. But I will, it's not active right now, but it'll be active the next time I stream, hopefully. No, no worries. You gotta go to bed. Thank you for the raid. Thank you so much. I'm gonna do another shout out. Thank you. Gotta get the little ones to bed. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm gonna check you out after my stream. Thank you again. And I hope you have good sleep. Hope you have peaceful sleep. Especially considering everything. Okay, I just accidentally lost my thread out of my needle. There we go. Okay. So I'm doing a stem stitch. This whole border has been stem stitch. And with this gold thread, because it's a little bit more on the brittle side, it was a little hard to, it's a little hard to work with. It's very fragile. Hope to see you in a future stream. Yeah, awesome. Good night. Good night. Sleep well. Alright, so the stem stitch that I'm doing on the border and these like sprinkle, which I cannot remember for the life of me the name of the spring. I should look it up, but I don't have it in the little kit that we got, the instructions. It doesn't mention this stitch, but it shows that you do it. There's a name for that. I don't remember what it is. But the blackwork itself is actually this part. So it's like counted stitching, and you get different shading by the amount of thread you use, and also the bits and bobs that you add. So like these dashes add shading, so this looks like it's the darker side, whereas this is like the highlight point, so you use less. You even cut up the pattern to kind of give that look of there's a highlight right there. So some of these I stitched with 2 threads. Some of these over here I stitched with 1 thread, and then I stitched over it with another thread. Some of these I filled. These like just a little like cross inside, but it's all still counted stitch. None of my friends invited me to their sleep stream. Awesome. Sleeping during sleep stream. That works. That makes sense. Oh yeah, my cat has the zoomies. I can hear her. Oh my goodness, I think she's sounds like she's chasing her tail on the wall. Does that even make sense? She like is up against the wall, sees her tail, and then kind of like uses the wall to launch herself at her tail, and then she just goes in circles. I grew up sewing skins and furs, and I'm from Alaska. That's really cool. Did you learn how to do like the whole gamut? Hunting and skinning and then stitching, or did you already have the... Thank you, Raging! Thank you for the well wishes. Thank you. Enjoy the sleep, sisters. Sleep well. Yeah, did you do the full gamut of procuring the materials? Oh, you know what? My stitches are a little too big. I'm trying to do smaller stitches so it has this like really cool cord effect. You can kind of tell that there's a little bit of a break here because I had to start a new thread, but I think that works. I think I can get away with that. Hunting, gathering, sewing, survival test for a week. Oh, yo! That's cool. I cannot say I had the same experience, but I had at least survival aspect stuff because I was in Girl Scouts, but I wasn't in American Girl Scouts. I was in Lithuanian Girl Scouts, and we took it kind of more like at the level of the Boy Scouts of America. So there was a little bit more harsh kind of camping skill learning, building from scratch kind of shenanigans, like rope work and not work and cooking, and but not hunting. We did not do hunting, so Never really had the opportunity to learn, but I would have loved to. I learned from my dad with fish, but none of that unfortunately stuck. So now I'd have to relearn the skills. And it sucks because I'm near the ocean now, so like I have access to ocean fishing, and I'm just like, "Urgh." Crabbing, getting crabs. That would be quite fun. Oh man, cat, you left like, oh god, I am full of hair. My mouse pad is full of hair. There's probably gonna be hair in my embroidery. That's okay. That's living with a cat. I just lint rolled my mouse pad, or not my mouse pad, but like my desk pad, because when I took out a little bit of this, it linted, like got lint everywhere. Oh man, so I realized that I didn't actually like properly introduce myself. At the moment, I'm doing a lot of embroidery and fiber art in general. I actually have a shop, Paradise Row shop, and I haven't been making too many new things for it. It's still live, it's still active. It's more J fashion accessory stuff, so not related to what I'm doing right now. Normally I would sell at places like Fanime and such, but because of the pandemic, I'm not doing that. And I mentioned Fanime because I know that Jolene, I know they're not there anymore, but considering they're from the East Bay, oh, they may have gone to Fanime, and maybe some of you have gone to Fanime before. It's ongoing. I just it's going on this weekend. I just can't. I just won't go. I'm not comfy. But yeah, I would do convention circuits with my shop, and I'm kind of burned out. So I've been learning all sorts of different new like techniques of embroidery, and I've been doing some sashiko stitching on stream. They're not available anymore, unfortunately, but I did some spinning, like spinning wool. Um, and I also game. I do game streams. I've only been really, oh god, I'm saying so many times. Please pardon the umming. God darn it, I did it again. I'm just like trying to think because it is late and my brain is working a little slowly. And when it works slowly, it's a little hard to multitask, stitch, and talk at the same time. But, and I'm gonna actually let this twist out because when you work with it, it twists on itself no matter how many strands you're using. The gold, it actually is 3 strands because you can see it's coming apart on one of the ends. But I actually, no, sorry, 4? No, 3. Yeah, 3 strands, but I don't want to split it. It's not a floss you split. Hopefully it'll last me to this edge. Ring. Rage. Depends on the genre of anime. Rage. Okay. Vivi. Thank you, Vivi. Good night, Vivi. So, I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV a lot, but that was when we were raiding. We are currently not raiding. So I'm looking at games like, so I want to play Cozy Grove again. Lots of indie games. I want to play Cozy Grove again. Because I want to progress a little bit in the story on stream. I want to play Little Witch in the Woods, which is new in beta. Horror Keeper is another one I want to play. And there's a few on there. Yee! Nice. Bed now? No, it isn't a valid reason. Alright. Sleep well. I will be getting there eventually myself because I am getting to almost the end point with this. Because this is, if I were to do everything from the class, I would be doing just this. But then I might add, I gotta think about it. And I probably will just start stitching just like just a random pattern, and then I'll branch off of that. It'll probably be broken up here like this if I do that. think I might still... My brain is still there to see the pattern and not have to count every single stitch. So I might still do that until I get super sleepy. I was thinking of starting Little Witch in the Woods today, but there's not. It's already 1 a.m. here, and I would just be starting it. I would want to give it a little bit more. Like, it's usually when you're just starting the game, it's kind of a good idea to give it at least an hour, and that would put me too late, and I don't want to be working too late because there's a needle painting project that I've been working on in previous streams that I want to work on. And then I have a class, a Sashiko class on Zoom with Kazue of Sashiko Lab at 11 p.m. tomorrow night because she's in Kyoto. So she's streaming from there at that time. I believe that's evening. Well, early evening, late afternoon for her at that time. Let me see if I can. This looks okay. Almost done with the gold. I'm just gonna go through here. It looks good. All right, cool. I have a coworker who speaks German, so he taught me some basic words. Speaking German, awesome. Yeah, I took German too. I don't remember much. I took one course in college of German. Nein. It's also spelled nine. Da. I'm very stubborn. You're not the only one who deals with me like this. Nine, thanks. Okay, I'm going to focus. Okay, cool. I am going to just go back in the gold. Usually, as I was saying, I would do 2 holding stitches when I start and stop a piece of thread. A bit of thread. But because... what's happening here? Because this is a little funkier with counted stitch work, linen, I kind of have to do this whole weaving on the back thing. Oh. No, I'm good, thank you. Okay. This is kind of like catching on itself already because it's a little ragged, a little old. I've been using this thread a bit already. Just want to make sure I secure because this isn't going to be moving around. It doesn't need to be like super secure. It's like dealing with my son all over again. Basically. Oh no. Oh shit. Sometimes it's okay to be stubborn, but it's better to be good to yourself and treat yourself to the rest that you need. Like, it's not even a treat, it's just if you need it, you need it. I can't do all-nighters anymore. Like, I could not stay up till 10 a.m. It used to wreck me for a week. Like 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I think my last proper all-nighter was 2 years ago. It wrecks me for a week. Now I think it would be even worse. I don't have much stamina. I can't really do things like the... Oh, no, hold up. I dropped some thread on the floor. I gotta pick it up. Ow. Ow. Okay. Picked up. Put into thread jar. Don't want to leave metallic thread. Metallic thread is still metal. You don't want to leave that around. Hello, Bean. Now you're behaving. Fuzzbutt. Yes, my cat's name is Fuzzbutt. I didn't do it. It's not my fault. It's my ex's fault. Like from eons and eons and eons ago. Ah! My thing is misbehaving. Hold on. chat box is acting up on my view. Okay, cool. Better. I can actually follow. Oh, Nightbot's being a butt. Let me fix Nightbot. Because I actually adjusted it a little earlier, but I think it's a little too frequent. Let me check. We do. Okay, cool. Better. I'm a massive child and I love it. My son at the age of 3 really fought to stay awake after bedtime. Someone with a Twitch name Fuzz. Oh, cute. Hopefully they're not named Fuzz. I mean, okay, I'm not biased, but Fuzzbud is kind of an endearing name. Okay, I'm kind of biased because of my cat being named Fuzzbud. I don't know, over the years, it, like, stuck. Yeah, so hey, look at that. Yay. I am technically, officially done with this. It is done to the point where the class was meant to teach it. Because this is we had either this one, which is above my head, or we could have done the light bulb, which I think is kind of cute. Like the little heart is very cute. It's a different way of doing it. But yeah, I think we all chose to do the snail in class. So now I have to decide if I'm going to do anything with this ground. Yes, cargo. Indeed. Yummy. But I don't know. I think so. I don't really particularly want to cut this out, but I'm a little worried that it'll like detract if I continue this. I know at least if I just mindlessly just stitch right now, I'm gonna at least stitch this area. Right? But I don't know how much I want to do. Gotta think about it. But so I have this really handy dandy little thing right here. This thing that is a magnet essentially for my needles. So I try to make sure I don't lose any. So far so good. Thank you, Raging. Thank you. You ate grub worms? Not afraid to try different styles of cuisine? I hear grub worms are actually pretty okay. I forget what was really bad. Something bee related was bad. Some YouTuber tried it from like a delicacy in Japan. I don't think maybe it was bee. It was bee something. Actually, what? Hold up. Let me do that. So what we were taught. Wow, my accent is like really screwed up right now. What we were taught in this class was to put the knot somewhere where you're going to be stitching eventually. And because if I go here, the thread right now underneath the fabric is going this way. So the stitches that I'm going to do in this area are going to secure, and that way I can cut the knot away, and there's no knot. But normally I would do 2 holding stitches, which would be just like 1 block length, on regular fabric like cotton, thicker linen, silk, because we're working on silk for the peony one. Yes, excess thread. Yeah, it's like the end. Instead of doing wraps, which like with the gold when I was doing this, I actually had the knot sitting like here, and then I did a wraps around this, and then I started stitching, and then I cut away the gold, so that way like I didn't cut away the the gold. I cut away the knot of the gold. So that way, it was secure. Like all the reps that I did here were secure enough after I pulled at the stitches here. So that's kind of similar to what's going on here. It's really, really cool when it starts forming. But normally, like on the silk and cotton, I would just have a knot somewhere like, so if I was stitching this, I'd have it like here, then I'd do 2 holding stitches on the line here before I stitch on top of it, and then I'd stitch on top of it. And the reason why you want to kind of do no knots is because if you mount this on a mat board, for example, it won't bulk up where the threads are. Hello, Carrot. I was taught sewing at school, but only twice in the whole year. But school? The fact that they taught you any type of stitching at school is really cool. I did not get taught, but I learned on my own. My family's really into weaving, so I've learned a little bit from there. It is not cross stitch. It is a type of counted work, though. It's a embroidery technique called Blackwork, particularly because it's creating a certain different types of patterns that are consistent, and it's done in Blackwork. So in black thread. My goodness, my brain. So if you were doing red thread, for example, it's scarlet work, white thread, white work. But white work is a little different. It gets funky. I don't know much about white work personally. Okay, hydration. From my water bottle so it doesn't track very well. I look like, ah! The only thing I learned in the whole class, the whole year, was measurements. Well, I mean, that's good. Measurements are important. Oh man, speaking of measurements, I cannot think in imperial. I can't think in inches very well in feet. I mean, for my height, I know, but when it comes to my other measurements, and then measurements here, and like the sashiko that we're doing, it's all, she's Japanese, so she's teaching in metric, so my brain is like instantly thinking metric constantly. So it's a little hard to trust to inches because I'm hearing metric so much. So I think I'm going to decide later what I'm going to do in terms of where I want this pattern to be thicker. So I can just go over it again later with another single thread, and then I can do like these little lines, notch work. I realize that my current situation here with the camera is a little funky. It feels like it's way down low there. I just need to adjust it's a little better. There we go. But yeah, it's not quite cross stitch in the sense that you're not doing crosses. You're using similar, not the same fabric. The fabric is that linen? Hold on. AIDA. AIDA is fabric. Is what type of fabric? It is made of cotton. Okay, this is linen. You usually use cotton in cross stitching. The whole idea of it there being a grid weave like this is still the same between the two, honestly. So that's kind of cool. That it doesn't change too much. But you're not doing the X's that you would, or the half X's. There's probably a better name for it, but I don't remember. So I'm either going to cut this out completely or add to it and make it a thing. But for now, I'm just going to do a few stitches of this. So I have it, and then I can come back to it tomorrow and see if I like the visualization that I'm going for. I don't know. One thing I'm finding in embroidery, especially with needle painting, is that having some semblance of an understanding of drawing is really important. In terms of especially if you're designing, mostly if you're designing your own pieces. So like um, shading, knowing your shading, perspective, depending on if you're doing something a little bit more realistic, and just general proportion is really important. I've been learning that like at the Royal School of Needlework, which is in England. I have not taken any classes with them, but I've taken classes with instructors who were taught there, and I'm learning that they're really, really big on getting you to understand drawing, even from a basic level. You don't have to be like super good, but you do need to know the general, dare I say, science behind drawing with shading and proportions and such, especially for design. And color theory is another one. That's cool. I might take a color theory course. I mean, I technically took one with SNAD, the SF Needlework and Design, but it was a really short 1-day course, and it was more about blending colors than, or achieving blending of colors. That's a thing I gotta work on. I have so many projects open right now. Ooh, that's actually wrong. Is that wrong? Yeah, that's wrong. I did not stitch that correctly. I have, I haven't counted recently how many projects I have ongoing right now. But what I'm trying to do is finish the things from these classes that I've been taking. As much as I can feasibly so. Because I'm still taking classes with the school. I'm doing some bigger projects. That's what I want to do tomorrow. I want to do the, work on the peony. The needle painting peony, which is just a lot more fluid than this, because I have to go choose colors and choose angles along with what the petals are doing and what the leaves are doing. It's not like super structured like this is, where it's just a constant pattern over and over. Honestly, this isn't super structured, excessively so, because I can still kind of like jump around a tiny bit, but oh man, my voice is not having it today. I'm not even sick, it's just allergies. Ah! Hydration check. So, let's see, I'm working on the peony. I have a crewel work piece that I have still to do with a cute little mouse on it. It's like a flower, and then there's a little like mouse. There's a fuchsia flower one. There's a lot of florals. I like flowers. Can you tell? But they're not my design. They are from the classes. Because I'm trying to learn all sorts of different techniques. Yeah, I don't know. I might keep this. I might cut this out. Yeah. Initially, this was here because I used we didn't have a practice cloth of linen because linen is getting really expensive. I didn't have a practice cloth, so I just practiced a little bit here because it was my first time doing this, so. I'm getting pretty good at eyeing, at least for this pattern. Blackwork has a ton of different patterns, apparently. This is just one of the many. Okay, I'm going to do a quick check. Ooh. Okay, sweet. Alright, I think I will do a little bit more of this, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow and see if I like it. Like, if I'm going to extend it, it's going to be a variation on a theme, so to speak. Is this correct? I think this is right. Let's see. Boop. 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 And boop. Alright. Just vibing at this point. Awesome! Alright, it is 1:30 for me, and I need to see if I'm gonna like this tomorrow. I don't want to do too much more. So, we are going to go ahead and raid another VTuber who's not currently VTubing. I think their friend is VTubing with them. Whoop! But Jessie is from Japan, and they're really cool. And I know they just recently did a subathon, so let's go say hello. Let's pass the love over. I'm gonna do one more shout out for Jolene. Thank you, Jolene. Wow, my words. Ugh, my words. Thank you again, Jolene, for the raid. Thank you, everybody, for your follows. That was really, really cool of you to come by and say hi. And partake in the end of the pattern. That was really exciting. It's always really fun to share when I'm about to finish. So here's all my info. The first is for just like my personal craft stuff. The second link is to the different links for my shop, which is J Fashion stuff. And yeah, sleep raid. Let's do a sleep raid. We are going to raid Jessie. Is it gonna work? I don't know if that's gonna work. I think it's misbehaving. Yeah, I gotta do it through here. Okay. Let's do that through here. Ah. It always acts up on me. There we go. Alright. Thank you, everybody. We're gonna go over. Thanks, everybody. Oh, I know why I didn't do it right. /raid. My goodness. I'm so silly. Thank you for coming, everybody. And hope to see you soon. Hopefully, if everything is okay, I will feel good to do the needle painting tomorrow. So yeah. Thank you. Let's go say hi to Jessie. Bye. Another raid. Sorry. Thank you. I appreciate you. Please. Welcome to the stream. Hello, sleep raid. Oh gosh. Yay! Thank you, everybody. Bye.